Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds great. They'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. You can easily make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. I'm Michael Chabot, and I'm here to tell you that there will always be challenges in life, and in some cases, like mine, tragedies. But human beings are resilient. All you need to do is make a decision today. Follow me on this journey to hope, and together we will live, we will learn, and we will grow. And hopefully, we will find some hope in every day. Welcome to my journey to hope. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of My Journey to Hope. I'm Michael Chabot. Today is January the 27th, 2020, and I'm recording this a day after the world learned of the tragic news of, Kobe Bryant's passing, his beautiful 13-year-old daughter, other children, and other adults that were on board with him when they died. And, for me, and I know for other people who have lost children, when we hear about the loss of other children, it takes us back to the moment of when we lost our own child, because we know the pain, we know the heartache, we know the journey. Most of the night last night, all I could think about was Kobe's wife and the journey that she has to embark on now. And how, as we all laid down to go to sleep last night, that we felt loss and we felt grief and we felt sadness for what had happened. But I know what her night was like. And her night was worse than mine. She lost her husband and her child in one moment. And so I laid in my bed last night thinking, how fortunate am I? And how unfortunate she is, and how my heart just went out to her, because I can only imagine the grief, the pain, the confusion. Her asking herself, how does she live? How does she move on? How does she breathe? How does she get out of bed? It's those simple things when you go through a moment like this in your life that you do every day without thinking, all of a sudden become ginormous tasks. Just getting up in the morning, getting your kids off to school, getting them fed, getting the mail, whatever it might be. Every one of those things becomes a ginormous task. And it becomes like you're a baby and you have to learn everything all over again. And I want to read something to you guys today. I don't like to read things, but I think in this instance, it's really, really important to do so. And I dedicate this one to all the newly bereaved parents, including from yesterday's tragic accident. And I'll give credit to the woman who wrote this at the end. It says, "This will likely be the hardest thing you'll ever do. Survive this, and eventually maybe even thrive again. At times it will feel virtually impossible. You'll wonder how a human being can survive such pain. You'll learn you know how to defy the impossible. You did it from the moment your child's heart stopped and yours kept beating. You do it with every breath and step you take. You're doing it now and now and now. Your fingernails will become bloodied from clawing your way from the depths of despair. Your spirit will grow weary from fighting to survive. Your eyes will cry more tears than you've ever thought possible. Your arms will ache and ache, for which there aren't words, for a lifetime. Your heart will break into a million pieces. You'll wonder how it will ever mend again. But with every morsel of unspeakable pain, there is love, an abundance of love, a love so strong, so powerful, it will buoy you. You will not drown. Others will say things that are intended to be helpful but aren't. Take what is, leave what isn't. Still, you'll meet others along this journey who will get it without ever saying a word. Kind souls who will breathe you back to life. Again, let them. Years down the road, you'll tire of hearing the same advice and cliches over and over again. Advice you don't want or need. Everyone will try to tell you how to best fix your broken heart. The trouble is, you don't need fixing. There is no fix for this. Eventually, you'll learn how to carry the weight of this pain. At times, it will crush you. At other times, you'll learn how to shoulder the burden with newfound grit and grace. Either way, you'll learn how to bend with the weight of it. It will not break you, not entirely. And even if you don't believe in hope, not even a little, hope will light the way for you. At times, you won't realize your path is lit. The darkness feels all-consuming when you're in it. But know the light is there, surrounding you now, and now, and now. Know you're being guided by all of us who have survived this impossible hell. You may not hear us or see us, but we are here with you, beside you, hand in hand, heart to heart, always, just like your child still is. Above all else, know that no one can save you but yourself. You are the heroine or hero of this sad story. You are the one who gets to decide how and if you'll survive this. You are the one who will figure out a way to survive the sleepless nights and the endless days. You are the one who will decide if and when you'll find purpose again. That means something to you. You are the one who will choose how you'll live with the pain. You are the one who will decide what you'll cling to, what will make your life worth living again. You and only you get to decide how you'll survive. No one else can do this for you. People will speak of closure, of moving on, of getting over it, of grief coming to an end. Smile kindly and know anyone who says these things hasn't lived this thing called grief. To lose a child is to lose the very heart and soul of you. It is overwhelmingly disorienting. It takes a long, long time to find yourself again. It takes a long time to grow new life around the chasm of such grave loss. It takes a long time to grow beauty from ashes. There will always be a hole in your heart, the size and shape of your child. Your child is absolutely irreplaceable. Nothing will fill the void your child left. But your heart will grow bigger, beautifully bigger, around the empty space your child left behind. The love and pain you carry for your precious child will be woven into every thread of your being. It will fuel you to do things you never dreamed you could do. Eventually, you'll figure out how to live for both of you. It will be beautiful, and it will be hard. But the love you two share will carry you through. You will spread this love everywhere you go. Eventually, you'll be able to see again. Eventually, you'll find your way again. Eventually, you realized you survived. This beautiful article was written by a woman named Angela Miller, who also lost a child. And I'm sorry I get emotional, because my heart breaks for every parent who loses a child, because I know how difficult the path is. I know in that moment when your life is shattered into a million pieces and you realize you don't know how you're going to fucking get up the next morning. You don't know how you're going to take a breath in this moment. You don't know how you're going to breathe, let alone live and survive and thrive and work and do all the things that we do every day. But I know this, there is hope. You can learn to survive. You can learn to thrive. You can learn to live again. I know this because I'm doing it every day, now and now and now, as she says in her article. The message that I want everybody to get from this episode is this. Everybody was on social media yesterday pouring their heart out for Kobe and his family, and it was great to see. And everybody takes a moment from their own fishbowl, their own routines, their own crap, and realizes how precious life really is. What happened to me is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because I know how precious life is. I know that in an instant, everything can change. Everything can be taken away. Most of us will go back to our normal routines. This will wear off in a few days, in a few weeks, in a few months, and we'll go back to being the person we are, unhappy, in our ruts, in our routines. But those of us that live it, those of us that have been through it, that truly experience it, will be changed by it. We won't go back to being the person we were before. We'll realize how precious life really is, that every moment that you have is a blessing, because it can all change in an instant. I don't leave the house, and I don't let anybody that I love leave my side without telling them that I love them, hugging them, kissing them, because I know that in that moment, that could be the last time I ever see them. And I don't want them leaving without them knowing how I feel about them. I just want you to take a moment, just reflect and pause. And I know we all have jobs and pressures and stresses, and real life, it gets in the way. But when we're gone, unfortunately, the world moves on. It moves forward. It has to. I can tell you this, that anybody who's lost a child, a spouse, a parent, a sibling, etc., and that moment when your soul screams out, and days and weeks and months and years following, you wish there was a pause button on life. You wish that the world could stop until you were ready to get back into the game, but that just doesn't happen. And some of us are fortunate enough to have the strength, the grit, the grace to rise up from the ashes and to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and move forward and rebuild a life from the ashes. And my heart is broken. My heart is broken for those parents yesterday that lost their children, that lost their husbands and wives and moms and dads, brothers and sisters. My heart breaks for them because I've walked the path and I know the pain. I know the strength. I know the courage that it takes to get up off the mat and fight. And it is fucking hard. And it is painful. I'm coming up on 2 years into this journey. I still have days that break me. I still have days that I cry uncontrollably. I still have days that my soul screams out to the universe, "No, no, God, no." But I also know that my daughter is up in heaven looking down on me and wanting me to move forward every day, wanting me to live a life to honor her, to build something for her, to remember her, to spread her love to the world. We all need to remember. I talked about this a long time ago in one of my first episodes about Be the Spark. Death, grief, loss is a reminder. Slow down. Spread love to the world. And I don't want this episode to be woo-woo, but it's really the truth. Like, everybody has their problems, and you just never know who's hurting and who needs help and who needs guidance. And maybe just by slowing down and being kind to somebody, you might be the person that sparks them to make a difference in their life, in their families' lives, in the world. Stop being so damn self-centered. Stop being so worried about getting what's great for you. I'm going to leave you with this. This episode is not going to be long. I'm going to leave you with this. I wasn't a big fan of Kobe Bryant when he played the game because from afar I thought he was a selfish, self-centered player until I read his book. And then I realized he was completely the opposite. He was just so driven and focused on being the best version of himself that he didn't have time for those that were lazy, that didn't want to do the work and put in the effort. And so I leave you with this. And no disrespect to Kobe's basketball talents because they were phenomenal. But we lost a great person who was dedicated to make a difference in the world. A guy who was leading by example. A guy who was doing the work and was showing others how to do the work. So I say to all of you this. If you want to honor him, if you want to remember him, do the work. Pick up where he left off. Inspire others. Show them that discipline equals freedom. That doing the work consistently and staying on your path and leading others will make a difference in this world, one person at a time. That's the best way to remember him. So, and if you haven't read his book, I implore you to read it. It is an amazing book. To those parents that lost their children yesterday, my heart bleeds for you. My heart aches for you. Because I know the path. I know the pain. I know the strength and courage that it takes. But know that I'm here for you. I'm here to show you that you can do it. And you will do it. And I love you all. And last but not least, every time I hear of the passing of a child, I pray to my daughter because I know how scared that child must be. And I ask her to help them and welcome them into heaven. And I leave you with this. To my sweet baby girl, Gabriella. Papa loves you and misses you. And I will continue to do the work and honor you and move forward. Thank you.